From getting praised by some of the highest-ranking UFC stars to having Khabib Nurmagomedov in his corner, here's how Umar Nurmagomedov is the most dangerous bantamweight fighter. The rising star has got the attention of former UFC bantamweight and flyweight champion Henry Cejudo, who recently shared his thoughts on the division's top contenders. And you guessed it, Nurmagomedov was at the top of his list. Cejudo is determined to become a two-time UFC bantamweight champion, and he'll have his chance to do so against current title holder Aljamain Sterling at UFC 288 on May 6th. But Cejudo isn't underestimating the competition, and he believes that Nurmagomedov poses the biggest threat to the division's fighters. In fact, he went on his YouTube channel to declare him the most dangerous fighter, stating that at 135 pounds, out of all the people he knew, Umar was the toughest challenge for any of them, including himself. Not only can the guy wrestle, but he can also strike, box, and is overall well-rounded. Nurmagomedov isn't just making waves though, he's causing a tsunami in the UFC. This guy is a jack of all trades, and he's proving that he's a master of them all too. But it's not just his skills that make him a formidable opponent. He comes from a fighting family, with both his brother Usman and cousin Khabib having won world titles in the UFC. Nurmagomedov is following in their footsteps, and is determined to make a name for himself in the octagon. With Cejudo singing his praises, Nurmagomedov has a lot to live up to, but judging by his past performances, he's more than up for the challenge. And who knows, maybe we'll see these two fighters facing off in the octagon soon. Now that would be something, wouldn't it? And when it comes to Umar, there's no doubt that he's making some serious noise in the UFC. His impressive striking and wrestling abilities are a force to be reckoned with, and he's showing no signs of slowing down anytime soon. So it's no surprise that when he heard Cejudo had put him at the top of his list of the division's top contenders, Nurmagomedov was understandably grateful. Taking to his Twitter account to share his appreciation, he made it clear that he's focused on making his way to the top of the bantamweight division. And with a perfect professional record of 16-0 and 10 finishes to his name, there's no doubt in mind that he's more than capable of doing just that. Nurmagomedov's debut fight against Sergey Morozov was a real standout moment for him. Winning via second-round submission, he proved that he's a force to be reckoned with both on the ground and on his feet. But perhaps one of the most significant factors contributing to his success is his cousin, Khabib Nurmagomedov. With Khabib widely regarded as one of the best fighters in the world, it's clear that Umar has had some truly world-class training. And with his sights set firmly on becoming a UFC champion like his brother and cousin before him, there's no telling what Nurmagomedov will achieve in the coming years. Umar Nurmagomedov has definitely got some serious goals, and it's not just because his family has set an impressive precedent. I mean, the guy does have some big shoes to fill, don't get me wrong, but this guy is out to become a UFC champion, and with a perfect record of 16-0, it sure does seem like he has the skill set to do it. Umar's no-nonsense approach to fighting might seem familiar to fans of his cousin Khabib and training partner Makhachev, but there's nothing ordinary about the fighting spirit that runs in his family. The 26-year-old is fresh off his victory against the Brazilian fighter Raoni Barcelos in his first fight of 2023, but his dedication to the sport dates all the way back to his childhood in Dagestan. According to Nurmagomedov, fighting ability is something that's in every person's nature. All it takes is to just hone your skills and beat it out of you. And he was no exception. He started with a desire to become the champion of his hometown, then of Russia, and eventually the world. He didn't have many other hobbies besides sports, and while his father was more focused on education, the passion for training and becoming a champion never faded. In fact, Nurmagomedov had to convince his dad to let him pursue a career in the ring, striking a deal that allowed him to train and fight as long as he continued his studies. The guy has a degree in business, so he's as much brains as he is broad. odds. Looking back, Nurmagomedov is grateful for the advice his father gave him. He might not have become the fighter he is today without his education, and he knows that he has a lot to be thankful for as he waits for his next fight. Fans can expect to see a fighter who is disciplined, determined, and always ready to give it his all, both in and out of the octagon. Umar's been involved in sports from a young age, and his passion and dedication have led him to become a top contender in the UFC's bantamweight division. His impressive track record includes a perfect 16-0 pro record, with 3 victories in the UFC over top opponents, such as Brian Kelleher, Morozov, and Nate Maness. Despite his success, the Dagestani fighter remains grounded and focused on his goals. He credits his good examples and mentors for his maturity and patience in his pursuit of greatness. He doesn't underestimate his opponents, even recognizing that his January fight against Barcelos was going to be his toughest test yet. But he's always ready to rise to the challenge. When asked about how he saw the fight panning out, he replied that he hoped to finish the fight early, but also understands that winning by decision is still a victory. Looking ahead, Umar has his sights set on climbing to the top of the bantamweight division and ultimately becoming a UFC champion. He's determined to stay active and continue performing at his best, with his eyes fixed on the belt. It's clear that Nurmagomedov's dedication and passion for his craft will lead him to great success in the future. Fans can look forward to watching him continue to climb the ranks and achieve his dreams in the UFC. And if his track record is anything to go by, then I don't think you need to be worried about him. However, the bantamweight star is currently facing an unexpected challenge. No, it's not that he's been injured or got tangled in some scandal. It has more to do with the fact that he's just too terrifying to fight. That's right, folks. The fighter just can't seem to find an opponent to face off against. He recently took to Twitter to express his frustration, tweeting, "Tired to wait." Fans were quick to show their support, with some offering humorous solutions, like throwing a bottle at a potential opponent or climbing a tree to look for them. Another fan, with the handle @Yabido, recommended that the fighter take the Islam Makhachev route, fighting unranked opponents and working his way up the rankings to fight for the title. One fan even suggested that Nurmagomedov should fire his manager, Dominance MMA CEO Ali Abdelaziz. While the fighter has not responded to any of the tweets, it's clear that he has a loyal fan base that is rooting for him to succeed. Despite the setbacks, fans and analysts alike are predicting great things for the young fighter, with some even calling him the division's next champion. In fact, even the top bantamweight contenders acknowledge his capabilities. Take Sean O'Malley, for example. During an appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience, the number 2 ranked bantamweight contender praised Umar's skills and potential. Nurmagomedov's current struggle to find opponents is a testament to the level of both respect and fear that he's earned from other fighters in the division. Still, with his determination and impressive track record, it's only a matter of time before he finds the perfect opponent to take him one step closer to the top. But hey, that's all on Umar Nurmagomedov being the most dangerous fighter in the bantamweight division.